So starting the test drive here in this ZL1 convertible, just super quick. Of course, you have a supercharged V8. That's about what you can expect. But it sounds good, it runs good, and it's so fast. Now, if you give it too much throttle, of course, with it being supercharged, it'll get a little tail happy there, but for the most part, it's pretty easy to handle. Just, you know, giving it power when you need to. Now, if you put your foot into this, again, it will try to get away from you, but that's what traction control is for, so that helps a little bit. And I hate that the traffic is built up here because can't really open her up like I would like. But surprisingly, the ride is not as choppy as I would have expected. Now, I've driven a 1LE. I think that's the last Camaro I've driven. So I'm used to it being a little bit more stiff. Let's give it just a light pull here. So, I mean, that was my foot was about a third of the way down. It's a very impressive machine. And even with a rag top, or I say a soft top, excuse me, convertible setup here, the wind noise is not bad. I can hear everything, but it's not like bothersome, if that makes sense. And of course, you have the Bose sound system to take care of all of that anyways. But I mean, when you're behind the wheel of one of these, you could care less, especially if you're going to keep your foot into it. And you see so many low mileage examples of these. People just take these out to run them a couple of times because they have 85 grand to burn, and then they just sit in the garage. But if you do want to use it as a daily driver or whatnot, it'll always put a smile on your face, so just keep that in mind. Of course, the Brembo brakes are very strong, very controlled. Now, with the 10-speed automatic, cruising in one of these, especially having a V8 as opposed to maybe a 10-cylinder, 12-cylinder, you can still get 21 miles per gallon on the highway with this car, especially doing the speed limit again, and then just not keeping your foot down in it, using the cruise control. All of that will help you maximize your fuel economy. And the reason this gets around 13 miles per gallon city is just coming from a stop, and especially sitting in traffic, it will burn fuel. I mean, it sounds so good. Oh man, especially in this is tour mode. I guess I was in tour mode. Now in track mode, this thing just sounds nasty. And I love when you put it into that mode. Oh, listen to that backfire. When you put it into that mode, it gives you shift lights on the heads-up display, which is super cool. And this really is meant to just make it that much easier if you are on the track for whatever reason. I mean, just so quick, so much fun to drive. Just an incredible driving experience every time you get behind the wheel. And it's just nice to know that you can take this to the track if you so choose, or you can just drive it in track mode, driving around town. But honestly, having one of these, especially as a daily, you might, now unless you're someone who's kind of addicted to fast acceleration like myself, it'll be nice to have this in tour mode with the top down. But then if you want to hear the cackle of the exhaust put into sport, and if you want to just get the full output of what this thing can do, have it in the track mode. And then another big benefit is having the snow and ice mode for if it is slippery outside and for whatever reason you're driving your convertible, that kind of helps you with your traction. But just such a fun car to drive. And I really, every time I come from a stop, I want to floor it, but I certainly want to let it break in a little bit. That's not really a big issue long term for most modern cars, but it still just, you know, keeps you from having to go to the repair shop as soon as you get your new vehicle. But I mean, a fantastic performance car, just fun to drive, love everything about it. This will bring me to the end of my review of this 2024 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 convertible.